shit! Hello! Man down! Man down! Oh, that shit hurts! 500s? This guy is on a 250. If you watch, the 250s on the tight, short shit, we'll pull on a 500. But when you see the straightaways, the 500 will walk away from a 250 any day. And you don't want to be behind a 500, people. That shit hurts. Don't ride behind a 500. I don't recommend it. Look at that. He's getting boulders thrown out of his shit. Man, I could just... Can you guys smell the freaking... the Motul or the Maximum or the Spectrum? Can you smell that two-stroke oil? I can. Just kidding. See, most of these are 500s. He's riding a 250. And he's quick. 250's quick. But when you get on wide open and straightaways, that 500 just like pulls away from that 250. Only because of 500, because it's heavy. Look at this guy in the Yamaha. He's even getting in there. It's 250s and 500s, I guess. Oh, shit. Ooh. That 250KX tried to get some of that. He don't want none. Now, see, those are the conditions that I used to like to ride on because I don't... Like, when you guys see my running footage, hopefully most of you have seen it by now, I hate that type of dry, dusty. I'd never like used to ride in that. Matter of fact, I wouldn't ride in that shit too often. I'd wait till it was like this, like it rained really hard, 3 or 4 days, pounded rain, and then let it dry out a couple days, because I don't like to ride in the mud either. But when it's so moist and fresh like this, perfect conditions, man. Just hooking up like a tow truck, son. Ouch. See, the 500s are gone, man. They're like, later. Oh, shit, that guy ate it. Oh, man, I love that sound. That two-stroke sound. He's on the pipe, people. Hear that? That's called, you're in the power band. You're on the pipe right there. Man, it's all upper body strength, man. Just watching this, because you know, it's obviously, you're seeing what he's seeing. It's all in your hands, your wrists, your forearms. It's all upper body strength, man. He just keeps getting blasted by rocks. You can just hear him. That guy's way up there and he's still throwing rocks on. Watch when he gets close and that guy takes off. just got blasted. Oh, hey, bro. Tear-offs. Gotta use your tear-offs, bro. Oh my god, I missed that shit. I swear, people, man. Just the last couple months, I've been getting this itch, man. I said something to my mother. By the way, what's up, Nitro Nation, Muggy Maniac? We're in the cave. We're watching some brapping. We're working on some brap. We're gonna get rid of some crap. We got some brap, and then we got some crap. Damn, Traxxas, these things are headaches, man. Every time like I said, the only reason I'm even messing with these things is because it's family, man. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be in my cave. Trust me. Not even close, people. It's for my cousin's kids, I mean, it's family. Even still have a hard time with it, man. It's just, just, they're garbage, man. And I was looking at some stuff, and I was like, you know what? I haven't seen any, like somebody's asking me about, like, the old, old classic, Traxxas stuff, because a lot of the Tamiya re-releases and everything. I had one of the very first monster trucks that Traxxas ever made. It was called let's see if I can find a picture of it. It's called a Sledgehammer, man. I had this thing. It came out Traxxas started in 1988. I had this thing. Well, 87 is when Traxxas started. 88, I think, was when this one was released. And to be honest with you, I wish I still had it, because it is a collectible. Let me show a damn picture. Some people got them in here. But they were made differently. It's like the quality was better back then. Traxxas quality now, it just sucks. Because, they cut corners. They don't really give a crap. They're just trying to make a buck, That's why I tell people, it's this Traxxas is just the stuff they make now. It's just garbage, man. It's zero quality at all. I can't find a picture of it. I had a picture of it earlier. What the hell happened to it? I also had a Bullet. I had a Bandit. Oh, here they are right here. I had a Hawk. I had a lot of them, man. But I have to say my favorite was the Sledgehammer, just because, it's a monster truck. I mean, back then, you had the Clodbuster, and you had the Lunchbox, you had the Tamiya. And Tamiya was mostly, it was a model company, so it wasn't like that they were like, they were still new to RC. Oh, this is exactly what it looked like, because this one's in a box. I can believe this person still has it. Check this out. So when I talk shit about Traxxas, it's from personal experience, man. I get people misunderstand, like I just assume, or don't like them because they're RTRs and because, they're not race inspired. I talk shit because I had them. I had a lot of them. This one here, oh my god, this thing, I wish I still had this in the box. It's probably worth some money. Look at that thing. It was pretty cool when I look at it. I mean, even though it is Traxxas, and you guys know I hate Traxxas, I wish I still had this thing. Man, it came with like these cheapy plastic shocks. I mean, it didn't have... but it was a monster. It was just because it looked cool, It was big and big old tires. I think just did wheelies. And, and you had a 540 motor. This is way before brushless. Didn't even exist. Lipos didn't exist. None of that shit existed. It was like, the motors back then, you went from bushings, and then you had bearings in your motors, and that made your motor, your E-word perform better, You change your brushes, your brush springs. It was a lot more work. You know, I have to say, looking at it now, if a lot of people that are in the E-word now, if they had E-word the way it was back then, they would have quit. They would have never done it. It's just so cookie cutter now and so easy that anybody can do it. That's why I'm not big on the E-word, and that's why a lot of us gearhead and nitro guys can't stand E-word. One, the people that do E-word, most of them are lazy. That's why they do E-word. Two, anybody can do E-word. I can build a badass E-word, Coke can size freaking, motor, battery the size of a freaking brick, and spank anybody's ass. Okay? But can that person, you E-word guys, and I know there's E-word guys that watch this, can you guys tune a nitro engine? Now some can, you know, but most of them can't. And that's why they don't do it, because they can't. They don't have the patience. They're just not, they're not mechanically, some people aren't mechanically inclined. That's why I say, if you're a person that can't even change a flat tire, then do yourself a big favor and save yourself a lot of money and headache. Don't try to do nitro. Or try to do nitro, you know, do what you want. I'm not here to tell you to do what, you know, to do what the muggy says. Just do what you want. But I'm just telling you, it's going to be a real struggle for you. There is exceptions, okay? But the rule is that those people don't work out. So anyway, we're going to get into this badass buggy here that's finally completed. We're going to talk about this sick-ass 15-year-old race platform, way ahead of its time. She is, man, I tell you, I am a truggy guy. You guys know I love my truggies. Love my Mugen truggy. Freaking sick-ass truggy. In my opinion, one of the top race-proven, winning pedigree, and so forth. Okay? This one, same thing. I don't know. It has a winning pedigree. It still hasn't won a title, a world, or a champion, anything. It hasn't won the big, you know, the big, how do you call it, the, you know, the whole enchilada yet. But hopefully, between Boring Horse and Tebow, they can, you know, one of those guys place in the top 3 in the world's coming up here soon. So you can solidify it. We already know Techno's a badass. It's, you know, you guys know about that. You don't need me to tell you that. Anyway, this thing is just, it's sick. It's nasty. I put this thing to the test. You guys seen on that video, I flipped it around and all that. And this thing is still, man, it's 15 years old. And she still spanks that ass. She can handle any motor that I put in her. Now, she might not, you know, handle the best or be the best in control, as you guys seen on the video. This thing was like a freaking squirrel on crack, man. This thing was everywhere, but it was fun, you know. And we'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, to get back, we're talking about, you know, I want to give a first shout before we get the shout outs out of the way. I want to give a big shout out, big shout out to this guy who has made my list, by the way, because I started another list. Muggy, you know, has got some lists here. You know, we got shout out lists. We done the what list. You know, we did the shout outs list. You know, we did the, you know, Knights of the gear, the freaking nitro table. You know, that's the Muggy's thing. Okay, that's my thing. A lot of times you just gotta be creative, man. Think out of the box. Maybe that's why I have so much fun at this, because I'm always re-innovating stuff. I'm always thinking outside of the box. You know, when everybody's going right, I'm going left. I think I seen what was it? I think I'm going to mention it, but I seen a sign. You guys know this sign here. Oh, look at that. It's still on my wall. Our friends got a kick out of this. Nitro RC guys. E-word guys. Any questions? Didn't think so. So anyway, I seen a thing. I got to get a posting of it. Maybe I can print it up and do it like that and print it on my computer. It says, "You laugh at me because I'm different." And then it says, "I laugh at you because you're all the same." We are definitely an elite group of people. True gearheads. I'm not talking just because you run nitro or own nitro or even got these bullshit Traxxas over here. Garbage. Freaking black eye. Thorn the side of RC period. This shit's, it's for scrubs. These are scrub rips. Revo, Jado, Teabag, Reject I call it. All the Traxxas are scrub whips. Now, does that mean if you own them you're a scrub? No, it's just that's what they're designed for. You want to look up the definition of the name of what scrub means? You guys know what it means. It means newbie, new guy, new person, rookie, whatever, freshman, scrub. That's what Traxxas was designed for. Their sole purpose was to design a vehicle, E-word or nitro, for a scrub, for a new person. People just don't like that I say the word scrub. Either they don't know what it means, and I don't know why, because I've told you guys what it means, or they just don't like the term. Like it's, you know, like instead of calling somebody a jerk, you call them an asshole, which, you know, it's the same thing. But they'd rather have you say jerk, not asshole. Doesn't matter. That's like the people say, oh yeah, I had an affair. You committed adultery. That's what it is. That's our society, man. Let's not make it sound so harsh, even though it is what it is. So anyway, I came up with this, you know, and like I said, those are made for newbies, rookies. I don't care what you can make this thing aluminum, steel gears, everything. The DNA of a Traxxas is scrub shit, garbage. So anyway, I'm probably gonna get lots of thumbs down. Let's see if we can get like at least 15 thumbs down on this video. Let me talk some more shit about Traxxas. Oh, let me throw in a few jabs at Losi. Somebody asked me something about Losi. Hey, you know, do you think Losis are gonna, you know, they'll come out with a truck? Listen, you guys, it must be, he was actually a new guy. I said, I don't know how many times I gotta keep telling people, Losi is dead. Get over it, move on. TLR will never be at top anymore. TLR is a thing of the past. TLR is pretty much in the category to me now is Offna, Savage, you know, Tamiya. As far as RC, they're nostalgic, they're collectibles, they're part of history, they're even iconic. All the LLS. By the way, also, sorry to get off track, but man, anybody that sells any like classic vehicle, I don't know why, because it's a classic, it's a collectible. Now, I understand opportunities arise and things come up, but still, that's one reason I'm never the guy, I never will be the guy that'll ever sell anything. Me and Elite talked about this for not too long ago. He will never sell it, because I keep trying to say, bro, you haven't done anything with that damn JQ since you got it. Oh, I'm going to turn it into a drag, you know, or then he was going to turn it into a Buggy, he was going to put a 21, now he's going to turn it. He said, and anyway, I was just giving him shit. And I said, bro, just sell it to me. Because I take that JQ and I would run that shit. I would rock that JQ, I'd promote it, and you guys would know who the hell JQ is by the time the Muggy got done, okay? He said, bro, I'll never sell any. I'm not the guy that sells my shit. I don't care if I'm not running it. You know, I'm not selling nothing. I didn't spend the money and go through all the hassle and go through all the channels and do all the research and searching and all that and digging and do all the archaeological type work that it takes to find some of these whips and these deals to sell it. And I started laughing. I said, you know what? I wouldn't sell it either, because I had a guy that offered me, one time when I was running, he offered me on the spot $1,000 for my XTM, for the Muggy's, you know, XTM Mammoth. With I think it had the Stock Rex Legend in it. No, man, I thought about it. I did think about it, and it was only because I was having issues with it that day. Otherwise, but then later I thought about it. I'm like, hell no, I'm not selling that thing. You know how much work that thing took me? You know how much money I've got more than that into it? All the blood, sweat, and tears, like you hear guys say. So that's why I'm going to get another Buggy. So we'll have 3 Buggies. I'm going to get another Truggy. And that's probably it. I'm going to get 2 more whips. And, you know, if I have 3 Truggies, 3 Buggies, my Muggy over there, I'm good. That's it. And then we'll just focus on all those, which is what I want to do. And get and build those things to the highest level I can get them. all the bells, whistles, goodies. I want to make them one of a kind. That's the reason I paint my bodies, because it's mine. There is no techno like this. There is no XTM like that. You'll never find a Mugen MBX5 Pro Spec R whatever like this one. You'll never find another. There's no Mugen 7T truggy, race truggy like this one. This one's, because why? Because it has my own personal touch. And the body is what I think kind of solidifies it. You know what I'm saying? Because I hand painted this body, all my bodies, and that's why I do them. You know? It's my own personal thing. So this whip, there is no other whip like this. Period. There's a lot of similar ones. Just like there's similar ones to Technos, but not like this Techno. There isn't a Techno that I've seen exactly like mine. All the goodies, bells and whistles, and for sure they don't have one of these rare freaking modded P3.28 Picos. Sealed back plate, everything. Didn't come with no pull start or nothing. Brand new, I bought it. Not used, brand new. It's got what? A little bit over 2 gallons. Probably coming up on 3 gallons pretty soon here. Next run will probably be around 3 gallons. So, you know what? That's why I do my own paint jobs, you know, and that's because it gives it my own personality. So anyway, to get back to what we're talking about, there's not too many people that are really true gearheads out there. Because you own a nitro, because you own, you know, say you're a gearhead, but you're not. A gearhead is somebody that actually does it for a living, like wrenches on something, turns some wrenches. And I'm going to give some shout outs to, first of all, a guy that, by the way, this guy did a video thanking me. I don't know why he thanked, well, I do know why, but, you know, you know, this is crazy because it came from me and him, you know, kind of, you know, we're at war at words with each other, you know. We were talking trash to each other, he was talking trash to me, and then I talked trash to him, and I mentioned, you know, listen, carts are for weenies. Carts? Don't tell me about no race carts, 125 cc's, 100 miles an hour. Try 100 miles an hour on a 500 cc, holding on for dear life, ripping through the desert. And one false move or one bad rut or one bad line and you're done. Laid up in the hospital for who knows how long, maybe dead. Or grab a handful of 500 cc's and point it in the wrong direction, your ass is in trouble. And that's what, like, you watch that. That's what I did for many years, man. 250s, my bros rode 500s. I rode their I didn't own the 500s, but I rode them. The one that I rode the most was a 1994. Can't remember if I think it's 94 CR500. Nastiest thing I've ever rode. And my 250 was badass. I had a 91 and 92 YZ250 Yamaha. I was the Yamaha guy. My brothers were the Honda guys. I liked Hondas, but I was more the Yamaha guy. Okay, Damon Bradshaw was big back in the days when I was riding, and he was like, you know, they called him the Beast from the East. Damon Bradshaw. If you guys don't know who he is, look him up. He raced for Yamaha, and he was pretty dominant for a while. But then that's when the time when there was, you know, a lot of riders were bad. There was Jeff Matazovich, they called him the Chicken, raced for KX. There was Mike Kidrowski, they called him the Kid. There was Jeff Ward, was winding down the end of his career. There was Mike LaRocco for Suzuki. There was Guy Cooper for Suzuki. Then you had the Honda boys, John Michelle Bell, Jeff Stanton. You know, you had, you know, I think Bailey and Ricky Johnson were probably on the tail end of their career when I was getting into it. You know, but you had all these these guys are all legends now. You know, and I used to go riding all the time, man. I was into my freaking, man, I had to have the matching gear, the Fox boots, you know, the Fox gloves, you know, or the Alpine Star boots, or the, you know, and then the Malcolm Smith racing gear, or the Troy Lee design helmet and visor. You know, the helmets, man. I think my Araya, I think you pronounce it Araya, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Araya. That helmet was like $600. And it was custom painted and had the Troy Lee, all that. You know, I mean, that's your gear. You could easily spend $2,000 just on your gear, what you're wearing. I didn't wear a chest protector. That's why when we were watching that video, you can hear the pelting of the 500s when they got in front of that guy in the 250. The Kurt Nickel guy, I think that was his name. Yeah, that guy was getting pelted by rocks. When my brothers would ride past me, when we ride together, and my best friend, too, he used to go riding with us. Whenever they rode, because I was riding 250, these guys were riding XR 600s, big bikes, and these were a lot bigger guys. I'm the small runt in the family. My brothers are a lot bigger than me. Okay? And most of my friends were. You know, I'm just some short 5'7" on a good day Mexican. You know? Anyway, that's why 500s were kind of hard for me to ride because I was so small. It was a lot of just balancing, you know. And if I couldn't really come to a stop because I couldn't touch. I had to set the sag in the suspension so I can barely touch on my tiptoes and my tips of my boots. But yeah, I never wore chest protectors because it just constricted my moving. I barely wore shin guard. I mean elbow guards because, you know, if you ate it, you jack your elbows up. Didn't have the brush guards, protectors, because we rode in the desert. So when they'd come flying past me, man, those 500 would just pull stumps out of the ground, and boulders would get launched at me, and I'd be dodging shit. Things would hit me. I got my share of welts. So anyway, a lot of it, like I said, just upper body strength. I miss it, man. And you know what? The shout out to Family Affair. You know, you actually inspired me to want to, like, seek maybe getting back into riding. It just, you relit the fire in my just inner, how should I say, gearhead genes, or the DNA of my DNA is grease. That's my DNA. So shout out to you, Family Affair. Hey, I feel honored that you actually, you know, said that I inspired you to, you know, that I got you fired back up again, and that's cool, man. Whatever it takes, I guess, sometimes, you know, I guess that's fate. You know, sometimes, you know, we go through things that might not seem positive at the time, but then, you know, that tough whatever it is, you know, ends up, you know, something good comes out of it. So anyway, so my dad used to say, sometimes, son, life gives you lemons and you just make lemonade. Some people will just take the lemons and, yeah, life gave me lemons. I got lemons. Or some people say, you know what? Let me take these lemons and let me make some freaking lemonade. Let me take these negatives and let me turn them into something positive. So shout out to Family Affair. That's pretty cool. He's on my shout out. It's a list I came up called Shout Out to the Dying Breed. And then you see in hyphens, gearheads. First shout out we already gave, Family Affair. Next one, Just Joe. I don't need to explain. You guys know me and Joe are tight. These are all these guys. We're wrenching guys. We're gearheads. We're guys that wrench, and some of us do it for a living. That's a true gearhead. So I call them dying breed. We're an elite group of guys. There's not a lot of us out, and especially into nitro. That's why the guys like this, they're the gearheads. You know, the old school gearheads. Nitro's nothing to us. It's like second nature. Matter of fact, we love it more when we break shit and shit goes wrong than we do even running our shit. I know I do. Speaking for, you know, I can speak for myself. You know, there's another one you know what? I forgot to put another one on here. Let me give a shout out to this guy. I forgot. What the heck am I just thought of it right now. I mean, he's kind of new, so, you know, but we're still going to put him up here. Okay? And you guys go watch these guys. Sub to these guys. Give them some thumbs up. Give them some love. This guy is just banana. This guy cracks me up every time I watch him. No wonder John loves him, man. Eastside RC. Man, this guy, he's a full gear. And he likes dirt bikes too, man. This guy's a two-stroke head. He's like, yeah, I used to watch this video. He's like, yeah, you don't, when you're running your stuff, you don't want it to idle all and all over the place. You want it to like ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding, because that's how two-strokes sound when you're riding a 500 when you rev it, because it's such a big piston, you know, because, you know, it's a 500. When you rev it, it goes ring ding 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 ding. You can just hear it because it's a beast motor, man. It's 500 cc's. Unlike a two-stroke, when you rev it up, you know, a 250 is like ring ding 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 ding. You rev a 500, it's like whoa, boom 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 boom. It's like real slow, man, because it's so freaking big. But anyway, shout out to Eastside RC. Go watch that guy. This guy is a full gearhead too. Just Joe, we said him. Gearhead Addict, that's another guy. Shout out to him. Not just because he's a gearhead and he's on my list. That guy just picked up some freaking modded motor. He's going next level, man. He's not playing around. Okay, me and this guy talk every day, and I'm not lying about that. Like, he'll probably call me later on today. Always asking me questions. Always, you know, this guy, he wants to, you know, he's trying to pick my brain. He wants to get ahead, and, you know, I'm learning from him, too, because this guy's a diesel mechanic. You know, Just Joe, that guy's a, you know, a lot of these guys are they're in they work in transportation, and most of them, it's mechanical shit they do. Shout out to Elite RC. That guy's a wrench head, and Elite's more of a, I always call him he's like the professor, man. Whenever I got technical things and, you know, stuff like that, scientific shit and whatever, I go to Elite. He's got all the answers I need. Shout out to him. Shout out to Connor Wickby. He's a gearhead. He you know, wrenching for a living. And obviously this guy. Now this guy is badder asser than all these guys. This guy right here, this muggy guy, this guy's a bat. I'm just kidding. You guys are like, what? What the hell, Muggy? You got some screws loose. Yeah, I have a sick habit. Okay, so anyway, we ran this thing yesterday. Now let me give you my thoughts on this. This old 15-year-old Mugen MB X5 Prospect. Okay? This thing is just, man, it's... Every time I take it out, it's like... I don't want to say that it like surprises me, but it does, man. And I've ran this thing so many times. This is my second vehicle I've owned in 6 years. When I got back into nitro, that was my first. This was my second. And this thing has been the guinea pig of any motor. Broken in, modded motors, stock motors, 21s, 28s. I haven't ran into an LRP 32, but an LRP is not even worthy of this thing. The Chinaman is not worthy of this, except the OS. The OS is cool. The OS is okay. It's alright, but you know, even the OS is up. We shelved that bitch too. And I think I'm going to probably put this LRP, it's still sitting over here because I haven't had time, but I got to go buy the size Dremel I need. You know, this motor has just been disappointment after disappointment. Wasn't really what I thought it would be, and that's why I don't recommend them. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you guys. If you guys ask me what I think about an LRP 32, I'll tell you what I think about an LRP 32. I don't think of it at all. That's what I think. You know what I like about LRP .32s? What, Muggy? Nothing. Zero. Anyway, it's not a bad motor. It just doesn't, you know, like I said, I'm not into the quantity, I'm into the quality. Yeah, there's people, you know, I mean, like I said, the only one that I've seen on camera that has a badass modified 32, and it's not even a Spec 4, it's an older one, and he beat the hell out of it. I think it's what do you say, Spec 2 or Spec 3 is Mr. Za. Other than that, haven't seen anybody else rant and rave about it, because it's a piece of shit. Period. I mean, what else can I say? What's better than a modified Novarossi Rex Legend 28.8? I'll tell you what's better than a modified Rex. You know what's better than this thing? Two of these things. Two Rex modifieds. You know what's better than one Rex Legend? 3 Rex Legends, and I'm going to get another one. I think I want to have 5 or 6 of them. I love that motor. I have a box of them. It's my favorite motor. I love it, man. This thing has got close to 4 gallons through it. Like I told you, the top of the head got pitted a little bit from some dust getting in there. You know, but man, this thing, you know, one thing I will tell you, I almost forgot. This one, I dislike my other ones that I got from RCR. This one I put ceramic bearings in too. So there's people say watch the bearings on these. I've only had an issue with the front bearing the stock bearing. It was still good, but what happened is if you don't put one of those flat washers before you put your colic on, you will eventually press into your bearing and jack them up. So be careful when you guys are make sure when you put your colic on, you know what your colic is, right? Do I have to show you guys what a colic is? Do we know what that is? Newbies? Do you newbies know what a colic is? Alright, let the Muggy show you what a colic. Colic, no, it's not like when a baby, you know, It's not what a baby gets. That's called colic. Okay, when a baby, I had it, I think. It's a condition that infants have. They cry a lot, I think. They have a hard time breathing and shit. This is what a colic is. This is the part that goes on, that holds on your flywheel. Before you put one of these on your motor, or you know, on your crank, when you're putting your flywheel on that on, put a washer behind it, because sometimes this piece here will press into the front engine bearing, and you'll wreck it. You'll ruin it eventually. It started to wear on that one, but anyway, I put ceramic bearings in this, so this thing has ceramic bearings in it, which is definitely an upgrade. But man, you guys seen the video. This thing was getting nasty. It was crazy because I'm thinking I got the clutch set up on this thing. I mean, I'm running the red 16 pinion. That's the 16. You can't even read the 16 anymore. I think it's worn off. Yeah. But there's a 16 pinion on here. I mean, you could see it. Look how big the thing. That's I could probably run an 18 on this thing. A 16 on here, and I think the stock spur, I want to say on the Mugens is a 46. Okay? I believe it's a 46. Now, somebody asked me, what does it sound like when your meshing's right? You want to hear what it sounds like? This, when your meshing's where it should be, you should be able to hold your clutch bell. Hear that? Turn it. Turn it. Turn it. Hear that? Hear that? Is that the perfect mesh? I don't know. You tell me. I know what it is. But I don't think there's perfect anything in 8-scale nitro. But that's how your mesh should be. So anyway, watch your colic. Put a bushing, a washer in there, and make sure that your meshing's somewhere like that. It's better to have more of a ticking, like a little bit loose, than too tight. Too tight, you're gonna strip gears out. I've never stripped metal gears out. I know one person that has. Trust me, I've seen a couple things. I've seen somebody lose a spark plug. Three of the most iconic things that I've seen this year, and I've never seen in my whole career of RC or nitro. Somebody lose a plug. Somebody blow up a Nova Rossi 28.8. Two iconic things that I've never seen before ever. Oh, and another one, which I experienced myself. I don't know if I ever told you guys that. But when you fire up your whip and your front wheels or both go backwards. You know why that happens? Now on the Mugens you can't do it. Because if you look at this notch, your diffs can only go in one way. Now the Techno, you can do it. I've done it before. Because the Techno, if you look, you could put it either way. You could put it in backwards. If you put the diff to where the gear is on the driver's side, which is the left-hand side, my right, your left, it will go in reverse. It has to be on the right-hand side, passenger side, which is my left. Your right. And I put the front one in on this backwards. And I remember when I went to go run it, I was tripping out because I was giving it in the front tire. The front was going in reverse. I'm like, what the hell? That shit tripped me out. So anyway, to get back to this again, Muggy, you know how Muggy's all over the place. This thing is nasty, nasty, nasty in here. I like it, but it's kind of a waste of motor. This 28 modded, it wants to just bust out of this thing. Yesterday when I was running it, I swear I just wanted to just break out of here, and just when I turn, this thing just wanted to keep going. It's too much. And what happens is there's so much power, there's no way to distribute it because this platform's too small. That's what truggies are for. Yes, truggies are designed for .21s, but they're also designed to run bigger motors. .25s, .32s, .28, so on. Okay, you put a .21 in this thing, and it's, to me anyway, it's okay. And a good quality .21 will move a Truggy, because that's what they're made for. But I firmly believe that a .21 is better suited for this. And if you want it, like I told one guy, if you want a vehicle, or I said it on the video yesterday, and I told a few people this. If you want a good, just a motor that kicks ass, and it's still, you know, where it handles really good, because this thing handles like shit with this motor in it. With this motor in it, this thing has all the handling goes out the window. Oh, you might as well just eliminate freaking the steering servo and tape it straight. This thing just wants to drag race straight, and I couldn't even get it pinned. When you guys seen it running, I didn't have it pinned. I was like 3/4 throttle. I couldn't pin it because every time I'd go to pin it, it would just kind of get sideways and shit. It was kind of gnarly. It was kind of it's unpredicting when I'm running this thing, because I mean, if this thing was to get away and I was to have a runaway with this motor in here, I don't know if this chassis would be able to hold up. It's been through a lot, but it would destroy it because this thing would be gone. I mean, I need to put on some street tires, and I need to get in a long open, like a giant parking lot, like a mall or something, and just rip this thing with the modded Rex in it, and just and hold it there for a few seconds, just let it get top end. Because like I said, with this 16 on here, this thing had no problem. You seen it? This thing was pulling the gears on the bottom like nothing. You know, this 2848, this pipe's bottom and mid, big time. And I think this did help. So this being a strong bottom and mid pipe, like the 9886 and the 41032, with the 16 pinion on here, gearing, did help it. But if I put a 13 or a 14 on this, with this motor and this setup, this thing would probably flip over. It wanted to kind of get the front end up it got the front end up. I was flying it a couple times. I don't know if I got it on camera, maybe after I was done, and it hit a little bump out in the field. It hit a little rut, and the whole front end came up, and it just went, wah! It rode a wheelie for a while and then came back down. Like, this thing just has the power of this RB modded 28.8 in this thing is nasty. So now what we're going to do is we're going to switch. We're going to take this because, you know, this is, you know, a shootout. This is the shootout of the 28s. We might even throw the Pico in on the mix too, because I think the Techno and the Pico have something to say about this 28 shootout. We're going to call it the modded 28 shootout. Okay, title of the video, let the games begin. Okay, so now that we ran this thing, I ran that in the Truggy. You guys seen what that did. That thing's nasty, badass, runs like and it's going to get better because it's still not even broken in. Pulls the front end up, does wheelies, does backflips, all that shit. Okay, we seen that. Now you seen this thing with a 16 pinion, ripping ass. I mean, rocking and rolling. I mean, just, this thing is just, it wants to do donuts in the grass. Like, this thing would do donuts in the mud. It's got that much power in it. So now, I want to take this exact setup. Okay, and what's cool, because they're both Mugens, is I don't have to change the anything hardly. I can take this right out of here and mount it right in that one, because they have the same motor mounts as each other. Now I don't know. I think we'll see if the pinion still lines up. So we're gonna run this same setup. Pull this whole thing out. Boom. Put it in the MBX7T. We're gonna take the RCR modded. Okay. We're gonna pull this baby out of here. As soon as I gotta get this thing cleaned up. She was filthy, man. You guys see her now? She's semi-clean, but she was. I might even clean her. I might have taken her apart. I think I'm not gonna take it completely broken down, but I'm gonna pull the front clip, the rear clip, center diff, radio tray out, because I know there's shit underneath there, and get underneath there. You know, give it a good thorough cleaning, and hopefully sometime this week we'll run it, and we'll see what the RCR, this one here, bam, this sick thing right here, got the Nova 28.8, okay, Rex Legend, modded by, what's that say right there? Bam, RCR mods, man, freaking scratch. Look at that scratch. That's the tattoo, people. A lot of people look at it and say, "Oh, it's not that bad." I mean, it isn't really. I mean, it could be worse, but still, it scratched right through the part that says mod. That's funny. It scratched right where it says mod. Yeah, as it pulls the freaking front end up and does a backflip and lands on its hood, because it's got so much freaking power. But anyway, this whole system setup, bam, take that out, bink, put it in here, and they've got the same diffs, oil, 60 in the front, 60 in the front, 60 in the rear, 125 in the middle. So we're going to see what this badass does in here. And then we're going to take this pig over here, and we're going to put this pig over there with the 16. We're going to leave the 16 on there and see how it does in the truggy. I don't know if the truggy should be able to pull it, I think. I think it will. Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, that's the Shootout. What is it? Modded 28 Mugen Shootout. Buggy versus Truggy. So we're gonna see what both of these modded motors from two different modders do in a Buggy and what they do in a Truggy. So anyway, I love this platform, man. This thing gave me no issues. The only thing that we had happen is we had the strap. I don't know how this happened. You know, the strap to pull the lid open, it broke off. No big deal. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to show you guys, and I know Mr. Woogie there, Mr. Chris Tinner. This is, man, I can't believe how tiny these things are. This is the stock MBX fuel tank. Okay, and this is the one I have in it now. Big difference. 50cc difference. Well, actually, no. That's 125. Yeah, so it's 25 cc's more in here. This is from the MBX7TR Truggy. It's the same tank that's in this thing. Okay, fits in here. As you can see, there's the little bracket you got to make. You got to make a little bracket so it can come, because when it sets in here, the stock hole is too far out. You got to make a little bracket, some kind of little bracket or arm, so it can go back over and mount onto there. That's what I did. But anyway, that's the tank. I don't know about the MBX6. I have no idea. All I know is a 7 fits in there. So anyway, yeah, so that's the Shootout. And this thing, like I said, it's nasty. It just, I think a .28 stock or modded is a little bit too much. Now, a .25 might be okay in there. I'm not sure. I've never ran one yet. Hopefully I'll run one in the future. So anyway, now let's get back to the rehabilitation, restoration, rebuild of the newly revised badass NB, which stands for Nitro Buggy, 48.4. Bam! So she is so fresh and clean, people. So you guys seen most of this, right? You guys seen, you know, the rear. The only thing we're waiting for is I ordered the Techno, these Techno 17mm wheel hub nuts. These things are like 20 bucks for those 4 things. Anyway, I ordered them for here. And the top plate, the aluminum steering brace. This right here, we're replacing that. That one should be in today. We just got in, and I installed already the brand new M2C rear chassis brace. It's on there. And then I got aluminum 7075, the aluminum like the ones in there, the drivetrains for this going in here. We're also going to change these center spurs. Are really heavy, man. I mean, compared to the lightened ones with the holes in them. So that's going to be switched out. That's what I did to the Truggy. I also might change the disc brakes. They have a semi-metallic disc brake. It's a lightened aluminum. That's better than the stock ones that come in these things. That was replaced in the Truggy too. So anyway, she is so fresh and so clean. Look at that sexy beast. This motor only has 7 tanks through it, so we're gonna get it running and get it to hit the ground. I've already done the endpoints. The only thing that I didn't do yet, we might as well do that while we're here, is set the brakes, and I'll show you how I set up the brakes. I learned this from Ryan Lutz. He has a really good video on setting your brakes up, and I'll show you how I do it. You guys can see the muggy, hopefully. Well, we're almost at an hour. Muggy style video. Okay, now yes, I am not running a plug on this thing. I have made the decision, and you guys probably already knew that. I won't run plugs. Too many problems, too many issues. Now I am using the FlySky FS IT4S. Now if you have one of these, it is awesome, perfect. You will have zero issues if you follow the directions on a Techno. On any other whip, I can't tell you. All I will tell you though is if you're using it on a vehicle where your receiver is in the rear, close to the engine, you might have issues. Matter of fact, you will have issues. There's too much going on in these receivers, these FlySky FS receivers for, and you know, when it gets hot, it just starts acting weird. So let me show you guys. I mean, this thing is pretty quick for a $50. These ProTech 100T are pretty quick. See that? And that battery's not even charged. It's like half charged. Plenty. That is plenty for bashing. Even racing, it's plenty. And I've been running that servo in the Techno for a while now, and I have had no issues. It's very quiet. Even when you set the endpoints, these things don't make any noise. I mean, listen. Quiet. These are the quietest servos that I've ever used. I mean, look at the throttle. The throttle? That's plenty. Look at that. Oops. And this thing's not even charged all the way. It's like half charged. Okay, now let me show you how I learned how to set the brakes. What you do, on the Technos, there are adjustments. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So when you turn, say if you're adjusting the front brake, the little deal right there, here, I don't know if you guys can, let me show you what I'm going to be turning. See these right here? When you turn them to the right, you're tightening it up. You're making the brakes stiffer. When you're going left, just remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, like any screw. Okay? That's for the front. The rear is this one right there. Same thing. Okay? I mean, look how clean she is, man. This is my own personal touch. I did this. It's the Techno logo. I did a freehand painting here. I need to do another coat on there so it doesn't come off. I think I'm going to need to cover that hole. Probably put some silicone over it. I did have a couple things that I did to it custom. I did use some of my carbon fiber wrap. That's for the case. That just covers the holes where the switch would go, the button or whatever those one switches that you can mount up here. I also put carbon fiber on here on the wing. Now these Techno wings are okay for the buggies. I just didn't like them on the Truggy that much, you know. And if you soup them up, you know, the carbon fiber I think looks badass. It actually matches the body because you know this body has carbon fiber in it. So I did that. I mean, this thing was so filthy and dirty. I did a complete. I mean, I hand polished practically every single nut and bolt on this thing. And she is better than new. We're running the 9901 and the 41021 header. So hopefully I can get it running sometime, maybe today. I'm not sure. I got a lot of things I got to do too, and I got to finish and I got to get on this thing. I can't let it set. I got to get this thing cleaned. I don't like my shit, even though there's no fuel in here. Bottom dead center, muggy juice in it. Pipe's not cleaned out. Motor's not cleaned either. I mean, on the outside. Internally, it's good. Carburetor, muggy juice in there. Tank clean. Fuel lines clean. Tires, rims and tires, body, clean, silicone. Now, next thing we're going to hit, we're going to take this motor off, completely clean it on the outside, take the pipe off, clean the inside of the pipe out, flush all the, if there's any fuel residue in there. You want to keep your pipes clean. Then we're going to hit it with the brasso, get her nice and buffed out again before we put her in the Mugen Truggy. And then we're going to take out the radio tray, clean the radio tray up, set it aside. Then we'll go with the front clip, servo saver, all this, pull it off, clean around it, take the shocks off, clean the shocks thoroughly, and that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm going to have to tear it all the way down, which means, you know, pull the arms apart, split the gearbox out, take the diff out, you know, although I do need to check the diffs, but they're fine because I just changed the fluid not too long ago. Clean the wing, and, you know, all this. So we need to get this thing clean. I don't like my shit sitting there, you know, longer than a day. But anyway, to get back to this, got the outerwear on here too. Gotta have that. I wish I can put the motor saver on these damn buggies. Somebody has to have a motor saver for a buggy. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be adjusting. Let me show you that real quick. We got a couple minutes. I don't want to go over an hour. We're creeping on an hour. So what you do is you take your brake, you put your brake on, you hold one wheel, and you turn it. See how easy that turns? I don't know, that back brake is too loose. So what I'm going to do, let me pull this off so I can get to it, oops, is I'm going to tighten this because I want my brake stiffer. And then, turn it again, still. Oh, wait a minute, am I going the right way? Yeah. Okay, keep turning to the right until you get the stiffness you want. Now, if it's already like that and it's not getting any stiffer, what you can do too is it looks like the calipers are kind of loose, so I might try tightening the calipers up because it should have already, unless I'm going the wrong way, let me see. I thought it was righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Let me see what happens when I go to the left. Maybe the left tightens it up. I don't think so, but could be wrong. Oh yeah. Okay, so on the rear brake, counterclockwise. Okay, that's what tightens it up. Stiffens your rear brake. Yep. Because it just got a little tighter. Okay, I'm gonna keep on going. So on the rear adjustment, counterclockwise. Just put your brake on, hold one wheel, turn it. See how hard it is to turn now? It's pretty stiff. That's pretty good. You don't want it any tighter than that because that's when you start doing the endovers. Now let's see how the front is. See, the front's pretty tight too. Now if I want to loosen the front up, I think I go right. Let me see if going clockwise. If you're facing that way, it would be clockwise. Let me see. I made it tighter, so we're going to go counterclockwise to loosen it up. Because definitely you don't want a lot of front brake, because that's when you do endovers. Like you see me do plenty of times. Go over the other way. What they call them on street bikes, or bikes, period. Fakies. Don't want to do no fakies on your nitro. No bueno. That's how your shit ends up on its lid. Okay. Stiffen the back, a little in the front. Now it's hard to say because you got to run it too. When you're running it on the ground, it's going to probably act differently. If I go to barely touch it and it wants to like almost flip over, then I'll know to make the adjustment when I'm running it. But that's pretty much how you do it. It's pretty easy. Just hold one wheel, put on the brake, turn one side, and then adjust it to where however you want it. So I learned that from Ryan Lutz. I thought that was pretty easy to do. So anyway, we're ready to rock and roll. End plates are set. Oh yeah, she's ready to rip. Anyway, that's all I got, people. There's another hour of the Muggy. Like I said again, shout out to Family Affair, man. I really appreciate, you know, you giving me props, and more importantly, I'm glad I could, you know, I had to, you know, put my foot up your ass, or talk shit to you, I should say, to relight that fire, man. And sometimes, you know, we need that tough love. You know what I'm saying? Like I was always told by people that cared about me, hey, the minute I stop giving you a hard time or stop getting in your kitchen is the minute you should worry, because that means that I just put you on the back burner and I don't care about your ass. So I love this radio, man. If you guys got technos, trust me, it's fine in the techno. Perfect techno radio. Any other vehicle, I couldn't tell you. Well, I can tell you, Mugens, no go, no bueno. Never had a problem in my technos yet with the IT4S. So anyway, she is ready to rip, people. Clean. So fresh and so clean, clean, bling, bling. Alright, people, that's all the Muggy's got. Let's see, anybody else? Did I miss anything? No. Okay, so let me leave you with this. Like I always tell you, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, even if you didn't get the results you were looking for, as long as you gave it 100% and you learned something, you got ahead. Now, if you didn't, then obviously you didn't get ahead. And you need to figure out what you didn't do. So anyway, that's all I got. Just whatever makes you happy, man. It's your channel. It's your money, your vehicles. You do what you want. This is just the way I do it. This is just how I do it, and this is what works for me. By the way, all these guys on my list, looks like my list, I don't know if it keeps getting bigger. I'm going to have to buy a dozen of these damn things. Because well, we're just going to give them to the gearheads. Every true gearhead is going to get one of these that the Muggy thinks is a true gearhead. So anyway, that's all I got, people. I will catch you guys on the next part of the shootout, and we're going to finally see after this next swap, engine swap here, which modded 28.8 is the king. Because there can only be one. I got two modded 28.8s, and only one can be at the top of the hill. Only one can, you know, is going to get I'm going to buy, I've seen a Vice like this, something similar, but it's a big one. So the king of the motors, of my motors that I have, of all my mods, is going to be one of these. But who knows? Like I said, I think the Pico might have something to say about that. The Pico's like, hey, bro, don't count me out. I ain't no slouch. Bam, you don't want none of that. Bam, you don't want none of that Pico power. All right, people, that's all I got. Peace.